Hello guys! Today is the very first of a new type of video that I'm planning to do on my channel on a relatively regular basis. Wait for the van to drive past outside. Over the last year I've absolutely fallen in love with reading and books and everything related to them. And all my life I've loved films and loved watching films. And I'm always really passionate about discussing them and reviewing them and talking to people about what they thought and expressing my opinion on all the little different bits in the book or the film or the whatever. For this, my first ever review video, I thought I would go in with a book and a film review in one and review Gone Girl. You've probably heard of this, it's a #1 best-selling book, everyone's been talking about it, and I can understand why everyone's been talking about it. It says on the front cover, the addictive #1 bestseller that everyone is talking about. And yes, it is one of the most addictive books I've ever read. I just could not put it down. But I really didn't enjoy reading it. I feel like there isn't a single character in it, apart from possibly the main character's sister, who I liked in any way. Every single time I started to like one of the characters, they do something that was completely idiotic and horrible, and I then hate them for it. I read the book first over the summer, and I was really excited. It's sort of, if you don't know the story, it's a kind of crime detective whodidit kind of novel, and giving you the basic plot without spoiling anything. There's a husband and wife, and the wife goes missing, and it looks like the husband has done it, and everyone thinks that the husband has kidnapped or killed his wife. Now, it's common knowledge kind of that the husband didn't do it, and the whole book is about how he's proving to the police and the public and the media and everything that he didn't do it. But he is a bit of an idiot. There were many points in it where knowing that he didn't do it, I was reading it thinking, oh my god, this guy, he must have done it. There's no way that he can't have done it. There's some revelations that come out sort of about a third of the way through that just put the nail in the coffin for him completely, and you just think, he's the worst husband ever. So not only do I not like any of the characters in it whatsoever, there's no comic relief, or not even comic relief, just no relief in it whatsoever. It's just constant droning, depressing, everything's always going wrong. There seems to be a dead end, there seems to be no way out at any point, there's no glimmer of hope for anyone. The thing that sold it to me most was not only did the blurb on the back sound really up my street for a book, but the Daily Mail review on the front here says, read it now, it's that good. So, you know, people seem to be loving this, and all the reviews I've read have been really positive, but I don't understand why. Because yes, it is massively addictive. I could not put it down. Every single page I was just like, oh my god, what's happening next? So if that's the kind of book you like to read, then I could not recommend it more. I just did not want to put it down. There were a couple of moments where I was so annoyed by it that I had to put it down just to breathe and calm myself down, because it made me that angry and frustrated. I was just like, no, put it down, I'm finished. And then 5 minutes later I'd be like, oh my god, what's happening next? And then to finish it off, it annoyed me all the way through, and I was hoping that the end was going to happen, just going to be a eureka moment, like yes, and everything would turn out okay. And then it didn't really. The ending is rubbish. The storyline leads all the characters into a dead end. They have no way out. They're all backed into a corner. Because of the way the plot flows, the ending is the only way that it could plausibly end. But it's just so dull and boring and frustrating, the ending. And you just think, well, that was a bit pointless. It's not a good way to end a book that annoyed me all the way through by annoying me with a bad ending. But then I saw that they were making a film, and I thought, great. I watched the trailer, and the trailers for the film look absolutely amazing. I was thinking, oh my god, this film's going to be fantastic. As much as the book annoyed me, I thought maybe on screen it's going to be really good, really compelling like this was, but they might, like with Ben Affleck, I think it's Ben Affleck, playing the main character, it might be a little bit more sort of likeable, and you might get into the characters a little bit more, which you kind of did. And it was a very good film, but it still had all of the same downfalls as the book. And I was under the impression that they were going to change the ending in the film because the ending in the book is so awful. I thought that they would change the ending and try and give it a little bit more drama, and not even drama, just more of an oomph to the ending, so you actually go out with a bang. And There was a moment, it was getting to the end, and something happened involving a news reporter turning up at the house, and I thought, oh yeah, this could go amazingly now, they could really do something with this ending. And then it all pitter-pattered out again and just ended the same way that the book did. You just walk out of the cinema really frustrated and worried and anxious for all of the characters, which I suppose is quite a good impact to be able to have on an audience. Like, for a film to be able to do that to you, to leave you in that emotional state, could be seen as a good thing, but it's not an enjoyable thing. I had no interest in watching the film again. There's also a scene in the film that is incredibly graphic. Basically, someone is murdered. I'm not going to tell you who because, you know, it could be anyone, you can watch it and find out, or read it and find out. But it seems overly graphic to me. The film was rated at an 18, and without this one scene, it could definitely have a lower rating than that. It just seems really unnecessary. Like, there is a really good shock factor in it. You really pay attention at that moment. But I think with the people that have read the book, I think a lot of teenagers have read the book and therefore can't watch the film. And I just think it was an unnecessary 10 seconds of footage that without that could have lowered the age, and, you know, the film wouldn't have missed not having it. They could have still done it, but in a less graphic way. If you like really compelling reads and, you know, who did it and like being in suspense the whole way, and shock factor as well, there's several revelations in the book that happen and you just think, oh my god, I had absolutely no idea that was going to happen. So from that point of view, it is really good. It's very engaging, but you just have no sympathy for any of the characters. All of the characters are in such awful situations and you should sympathise with them, but because of how they're described and the mannerisms of all the characters, you just don't care about them, which makes it really hard to like the book. Or the film for that matter. There was no point during the film where I was bored, and I was definitely entertained by watching the film and reading the book, but did I like it? No. Give the film a go and see what you think. But then I think if you watch the film first, because you then know everything that's going to happen, the thing that made me keep reading the book is I had to find out how it was going to end. It was that gripping. The more I read, the more annoyed I got with the characters, but I had to keep reading to find out. So I think if you watch the film first and you know what happens, then you're just going to start reading the book and get so annoyed with it so soon and just not bother. So the bottom line is, I wouldn't recommend reading the book or watching the film particularly, but if you do like very gripping and engaging whodunits, whatever it is, and you don't really mind not having a compassion or a liking for all of the characters, then it is a fantastic book and film from that point of view, and you should definitely give them a go. If you like to get into the characters a little bit more, you're not too fussed on having a can't put it down book, then I would say not bother and move on to something else. That is more or less it for the review today. I'm really sorry that it wasn't a more positive review to start with, but I watched the film 2 days ago or whenever it was, and so it's just really in the forefront of my mind, and it's a current film, so I thought it would be a good one to do now. But I would rather have started with something a lot more positive, so the next one that I do, I promise, will be one that I really love, maybe The Cuckoo's Calling, so something a little bit more positive next time might be nice. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please leave comments down below if you have any suggestions for films or books that you would like reviewed, and let me know if you like this idea of a kind of video. It's something that I'm really passionate about doing and I really enjoy, so hopefully there'll be people out there that also like watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, because that helps me raise extra money for Comic Relief, which is where all the money from this channel goes. And other than that, I will see you next time, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye!